Hello everyone and welcome to this creator event. So today I am going to be joined by the team at Movie World and we're going to be going over behind the screens. And within this event we're basically going to be covering all the different parts that are going to be added into Movie World, get you into a few secrets, and once the event is over we will be passing over to some of the developers and the people that work in the park, and we'll be able to sort of get to know a little bit more information about the game. So, first up, I am going to hand myself over to Panda, and he's going to explain the current ticket pricing for this year.
Hello all, it's been a while since we've done one of these events. Um, so I won't keep this too long, but essentially this is our first Halloween event for Movie World since the park has actually opened. So we had a very long think about this, about what we wanted the pricing to be for Fright Nights of 2023. So the first pricing for the day price, we were just thinking something very low cost along the lines of about 10 Robux. This means that if you really just want to kind of get through everything quickly, don't have to pay very much, and it's just a nice sort of very low price. Now, if you want to kind of spread it over more of the week, that's going to cost 70 Robux for the whole week. So this is if you really want to take your time, view everything properly, have a good kind of look at all the scare zones and all the different things that are going to be happening around the park, then you can buy a week pass. And if you're really, really committed to seeing every little nook and cranny, then you can buy the unlimited pass for 260 Robux. And that will grant you access for the whole of October. The one exception to this is the very, very last day of October, which will be free for everyone. So if you do not want to pay Robux, which is fair enough, you can wait until the last day, which will be completely free and available for everyone to play, regardless of whether you have bought a pass or not. So the unlimited pass will be available to purchase from Wednesday the 20th of September, and it means you can buy early, get ready for Halloween. The other two passes will be available from the 1st of October when the park actually opens and all the Halloween events are added. All of the passes will then go off sale on the 29th of October, ready for when it's free on the 31st. So, moving on, we have our first area that will be introduced into the park. So the first area that we are going to be showing off, I guess, is the Purge. So this area, we're not going to reveal too much information because we want to leave it all as a surprise. But this area is obviously based off of Purge movies, so you'll be able to kind of walk through, see all the kind of hopefully all the characters, see the effects, and really kind of get into that feel of bit like you were in the Purge almost. We might try and add some little secrets here and there, you know, spice it up a little bit, but we're not going to reveal anything at this point. Now I'm going to hand back over to the other two, and they're going to explain and show you off the rest of the scare zones.
All right. Well, hello everybody. My name is Cold Chip, one of the developers here at Movie World. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm going to be talking about some scare zones that I've had the pleasure of working on with the team. And one of the scare zones we have this year, which is really exciting, it's an original scare zone called Judgment Day. Now, Judgment Day is an original scare zone produced by Movie World. And the premise behind Judgment Day is a really interesting one. A common theme that we have with a lot of our original scare zones this year is we take everyday concepts, like, for example, the idea of the afterlife, and we take it and we kind of, I guess you could say, horrify it. So the premise behind Judgment Day is that the idea is that the player has died. That's the basic idea behind it. And so Judgment Day is kind of the player's journey through this kind of purgatory hellscape. So now there's all these angels and these devils, and they're trying to figure out what do they want to do if you're a spirit. You're at their mercy till late, but they see it as a game. So they're basically playing with your life, and the scare zone is you traveling through this little game they've got set up for you. So it's a very dark, but hopefully we'll have some humor in it as well. considering that they're taking this as a game. This will be located in the Amity Island section of the park, or Coast City, depends on what you want to call it. And that said, there's a lot of details that will come out later on, leading up to the event. But for now, I'm going to pass it on to Cedar, who's going to be talking about our next couple of scare zones. Cedar, the chat is saying that your microphone's broken. Says the chat. Says that there is a problem with your microphone. So I don't know. Cut off. But
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone.
so
Technical issues. We love technical issues. So
thank you,
this
Crimsh.
no, it's all back now. So this area will be based on the Lost Boys, and the Lost Boys is a sort of film based on vampires and sort of many different things which people will be able to enjoy. During this event, you'll be able to buy emblems and different bits of merchandise, and this land will have lots of different merchandise items you can buy. We'll sell a couple emblems. And after the event finishes, you'll be able to trade these emblems with different players. But these emblems will be quite rare, so before you trade them with people, just remember if you really want to do it or not. But that's sort of it for this scare zone because it's quite a small area, but we can't wait to show it to you. But that's it for the Lost Boys area, and I will move on to the next scare zone. So this scare zone is one that has been requested loads by many different people, and it's called The Last of Us, and of course it's based off The Last of Us. And all the way around this land there will be zombie themes, there will be different areas people can explore, and it'll basically be one of our favourite areas within the park. You'll be able to enjoy different things within there. There'll be like mini activities, and of course, you'll be able to buy merchandise, emblems, and lots of different items within that land. And within this land, some of the rides which people enjoy will be shut, but there is altogether quite a lot of different things in here. And of course, there's those zombies for people to enjoy. I'm not going to go into lots of detail on here because I want it to be a surprise, but I'm sure there'll be lots of different things that people will enjoy in this land. It is certainly one of my most favourites, and we've had the most fun developing it. So, with all of that being said, I'm going to hand back on to Cold.
All right, thank you so much. Now moving on to the next original scare zone. Like I talked before in Judgment Day, we have taken a lot of everyday concepts, like for example, the idea of the afterlife, which is something embraced by a lot of people, and we're kind of adding a horror overlay to them. And that's kind of what we did with Happily Ever After. Now, when we're little, when we're kids, we hear all about these fairy tales. You know, you have your Little Red Riding Hood, you have your Hansel and Gretel, your Jack and the Beanstalk. You have all these stories that we hold close to our heart, and they all have these really happy endings. So, what Happily Ever After is basically a twist on these endings. What if the huntsman ever came to save the day? What if the kids weren't as resourceful as they were in the story? And it takes all these fairy tales and it just really darkens their endings, and we can see the aftermath. We can see how the protagonists suffer. It's a really interesting scare zone idea. We're gonna have a lot of amazing set design, tons of new characters, because like I said, this is an original scare zone, so we've been able to really break free of any bounds, any chains. There's no real guidelines we have to follow, and that's really fun for us as a team, being able to experiment with tons of new concepts. Happily Never After is going to have, as you can see in the image, we're going to have like these big sets. You can see here, this is the Hansel and Gretel set that was finished just this morning, and then we're really happy with it. But we're also going to have some more immersive sets that we can go into, we can walk around in. So it's going to be a really immersive, really interesting experience. And on the topic of immersive and interesting, our next scare zone is one that I'm sure a lot of people are really excited about, and that's Crimsh's Carnage. Now, a few people here might know what I mean when I say Crimsh, but if you guys don't know, Crimsh's Carnage is a scare zone celebrating a show that's available on YouTube called The Crimsh Ad Show, produced by Phoenix Studios. Crimsh's Carnage is a really interesting project, and it's really important to me, because I'm the book producer of the Crimson Edge show. I own a group called Phoenix Studios, and Phoenix Studios and Movie World. We've teamed up here to bring a really interesting scare zone, which is going to be located right at the entrance of the park. Crimson's Carnage, if you guys don't know what Crimson Ad Show is, it's a talk show where, well, Crimsh and Ad, they bring on tons of different guests and they go on all sorts of weird adventures, and it's just a really interesting, really random, and really funny show, which I recommend you check out. And Crimson's Carnage is just that. You get the full Crimson Ad Show experience. You're going to see all the characters from the show. You're going to see tons of references to the show and even some references to future shows, future projects that we're working on. It's a really exciting project. I've had a blast working on this, and Krim just had a blast, giving ideas. It's just been all around a really fun, creative process for us as a group. And you're gonna have the Phoenix Studios store is gonna have some merchandise that you can buy to celebrate the maze. So overall, we're just really excited for Crimson's Carnage, and we hope you guys are gonna like it too, as it welcomes you into the park. I'm probably gonna pass it back off to Cedar as he talks to our next maze.
Awesome, thank you. So, as it's just been mentioned, we are very excited to partner with you guys, and we're really excited to bring that maze into our theme park. So, the next maze, or the first maze we're going to be announcing, is Holidays in Hell. And this has been quite a requested maze. We've seen it on the different forms we've done, and basically, it's a maze where you can experience the different seasons and walk all the way through it, and you'll be able to sort of have a wicked turn on your favourite season. So, for example, in this image, it's for a Valentine's event, and something may go wrong, or it may not be how you're expecting it to go. But the main developer for this is, of course, Cold, so I will hand it on to him where he'll go into a lot more detail about all of the different parts.
Thank you so much. So, Holidays in Hell here. It's kind of like the one that sticks out to me a lot as a maze. Because Holidays in Hell here is, you guys know a lot about Halloween Horror Nights and haunt events. You'll know that Holidays in Hell is an event made by Universal Studios, and you know that it showed up a couple years ago and it came back this year. Just something that we were really happy about. Holidays in Hell is a maze that's often kind of forgotten about, and so when we were thinking about what mazes do we want to bring to the forefront for our first haunt event, Holidays in Hell was pretty much one of the best options we could have here. So, like Cedar said, it is a twist on a lot of holidays. And here in this image, you can see the Happy New Year set. You'll see it's a party. Holidays in Hell isn't as much a journey as it is. Every scene there's always a party. They're just having fun. They're holidays at the end of the day. They're holidays, but they're just happening in hell. So, we'll maybe in our human world we'll see someone gift wrapping a present and giving it to their brother. But in here, maybe we can see a demon ripping open someone's chest. It's a sadist party. It's a lot of fun. The set design is absolutely incredible. It's just a blast to work on it, and we're really excited for you guys to walk through this holiday. We don't really see a lot of holidays in hell being made here on the Roblox hunt community. The last one I saw was a couple years ago, so I'm really excited to be able to bring this one back for Hunt. So I'm going to pass it back to Cedar as he talks about our final announcement for today.
Cool, thank you. So, as Cole just mentioned, the Holidays in Hell is the first maze, and we're really excited to show you it. Just quickly, if anyone's in the stream now and they have any Q&A questions for later, feel free to share them, and we will ask them and answer them at the end of this. So, moving on to our next announcement, and I'm very thrilled to say our maze Beetlejuice will be indeed opening, and I know many of you are really excited for this. And this event will be, you can go and experience this maze on the 1st of October, and after October, this maze will be open to the public. But the one difference for this will be many people will see this version, and the version which will be open to the public will be very different. We will modify it so this event will make it very unique, but you'll still be able to enjoy all of the haunts and all of the experience feelings within this. So in the Beetlejuice maze, you'll be able to see Beetlejuice, see all the different characters, be able to go all the way through it. We have the famous different characters, which I know all of you will love. And overall, this maze is quite a big maze, but the soundtrack for it, the characters, all of it will be really enjoyable for many of you to enjoy, and we can't wait to show you all it. So that's it for the maze, and that's all of it for the maze announcements. So just to recap over everything we have said in this event. Okay, so the first maze we have is Beetlejuice, as I've already mentioned, and Beetlejuice will be a different maze you can go and experience. We have all the different characters. Our sort of favourite scare zone, or my personal favourite scare zone, will be the Lost Boys, and many different people can go and explore that around the park. Then we have the Purge, which is a popular scare zone coming out, and within the Purge you'll be able to go through all the different sets and have quite a lot of fun with it. After that, we have Crimps's Carnage, which Cole has mentioned, and it's our partner group, Phoenix Studios. And within this, you'll be able to go through all of their different TV show sets and be able to explore it and basically feel like you're within the TV show. And it's a really fun scare zone, and I'm sure many of you will enjoy it. Then we have Judgment Day, which is an original scare zone, and it's certainly a really fun scare zone, and we can't wait to show it to you. Then we have Happily Never After, which is basically a twist on different fairy tales, and it'll basically be childhood favourite sort of events and different things, but modified into a Halloween sort of scary feeling. Then, of course, the last maze we have will be Holidays in Hell, which is basically a take on different Halloween sort of seasons, Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, the different seasons you have within the year, all put into one maze with a horror twist added onto it. And last but not least, we have The Last of Us. And The Last of Us will be the sort of zombie themed scare zone which people can go through, explore, and have quite a lot of fun with. And The Last of Us is going to be a really fun maze, and I'm sure many of you will be able to have a look around and enjoy. So, with that being said, I will be asking and answering any Q&As all of you have. So, the first question we have is, do you think demons are appropriate for ages 9 plus? And we were thinking about this at first, and we're currently considering if the event will be 9 plus or 13 plus. And at the moment, it's looking like it's more likely going to be a 13 plus event, but of course, that could change based on the feedback. But yeah, we can't wait to show it to you. Another question in one of the other chats was, why are we charging for this event? And the reason behind it is we want to try and make this Halloween event as unique as possible. So we thought if we charge a tiny little amount for it, people will feel more sort of involved within the park and should be able to enjoy it. And of course, we'll change the pricing if people think it's a bit too much or think we should charge a little bit more. And we're more than happy to accommodate if different people have questions about it or anything like that. And we didn't want to make the event sort of paid only event, so that's why on the 31st of October, on actual Halloween, the game will be open for free for anyone to enjoy. So with that being said, everyone who attended the event live, I will be handing over the emblems for you. But yeah, so thank you for everyone for watching.
We have
one more question
from PV. It says, PV now, Jay says, for October 31st, will the Fright Night be free for the whole day or just in a specific time frame?
So the event will be free for the entire day, and on the 31st of October, it will be opened up at a set time, but what we would do, we would keep the game open for just after 24 hours. So it means any time zone, any time we'll be able to play it. I don't have a set time for the different time zones, but we will be keeping it open for as long as possible for anyone to explore and anyone to be able to enjoy.
Will Beetlejuice be amazing?
Yeah, Beetlejuice will indeed be
You can count on
amazing. We are thrilled that it's coming out this year, and we know many of you have been wanting to sort of have it, so we're very glad to bring it out. And yeah, are there any more questions, or is that all of them? Cool, I think that's everything. There might be a couple just as I'm finishing off, but okay. So anyone who attended the event live, you'll all be getting an emblem. So when you join Movie World next, you should have the emblem in your inventory. But apart from that, I want to thank everyone for joining this event, and I will see you all in another event.
Cedar, there's one more question from Crimch.
Yeah, go for it.
Crimch asks, have you ever tried to eat a clock?
Not that I've tried.
Yes.
But sure. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all another time.